Pandora's box is about to open wide.
Do you guys recognise that song?
Yes, we do. That's us.
Welcome to another Pandora's box. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the Colourblind Monks,
Hello.
which are a band from... Remind me where you guys from?
We're from like the Surrey, Hampshire area.
Oh man, Hampshire's such a nice county.
It's very nice.
I love
It's very pretty.
Hampshire. Yeah, so good. We just did like a little live acoustic recording, didn't we, in the other room?
Yes.
Which sounded freaking awesome.
Oh, thank you
So
much.
yeah, you guys have got that to look forward to. So yeah, just keep your eyes and your ears peeled for that, because we obviously will put it out on the radio and we'll put it out on the internet as well. So if you follow us on our social medias, then you'll be able to look for that. Or just, as I said, YouTube, Spotify, stuff like that. And go follow the Colourblind Monks as well.
Yay.
What's the best way to follow you guys? Instagram?
On Instagram.
Yeah? So how can they find you on Instagram?
We're at the Colourblind Monks.
Nice and easy.
Nice and easy. It's in the name.
Awesome,
just the
guys.
Colourblind Monks.
Yeah, so Phoebe, you're the lead singer.
Yes.
Alex, guitarist, and you guys are brother and sister, right?
Yes, we are.
Right, amazing. So I first discovered you guys, it was like about a year ago, I think. It was like a couple of weeks before your Janko Jones Speaks to the Dead album came out.
Oh my
came out.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So would that have been about a year ago, a bit
I
more?
think so.
Something like that.
I think it came
Yeah.
out July last year.
Yeah.
July 13th, maybe.
Oh,
Oh.
That's a guess. I
look
don't know.
at this. Locked in.
Magic man. So yeah, I can't remember exactly how I discovered you. I don't know if it was like on like Spotify or if it was like on an Instagram. Do you know what I mean? You know when you just get like an Instagram ad or something, but anyway, instantly liked it and checked it out, and then yeah, it was it's like really cool because you get into a band and then like an album comes out like a week later. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So I really stuck my teeth into that. So I've listened to your latest album through many a time.
Oh, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
yeah.
Many a time. Yeah, so awesome to reach out to you guys and have you over here today. So yeah, just thought it'd be cool to shoot the breeze with you both.
Yeah.
And let's get to know the Colourblind
Oh my
Monks.
gosh.
What makes you tick. So if you guys wouldn't mind, like talk us through sort of like if we go in chronological order, and because I want to like know how you guys got to where you are today. So what was life like for you, like growing up? What when you were kids and stuff? What are your earliest like musical memories, things like that?
Well, I started singing lessons when I was 5.
Mm.
So I'd always, when I was 2, I went, oh my God, I can be a singer. That's a thing. And so I was like, that's what I want to do. And then Alex, when did you start playing guitar?
I started playing guitar when I was like 9, but like I was taught by. Do you know the band Reuben by any chance?
No, I don't know.
They were like quite a big band in Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
And the bass player gave me lessons, and since he was a bass player, I learnt nothing. So I gave up and then started playing again when I was 15. And then I played clarinet before that though.
Oh, cool.
For a long time. I was in an orchestra and I did.
Oh, so you're pretty adept at clarinet.
Yeah.
So in like 10 years, when you're going through like a little bit of a renaissance period, you'll suddenly be releasing some like clarinet
Bring out
stuff.
the clarinet.
Oh, you should
Yeah.
put some clarinet stuff.
Yeah,
out.
that'd be
Actually,
sick.
you should.
That would be well good.
Get the clarinet featuring clarinet.
That'd be well good. What are like do you guys have any sort of memories of like listening to like a certain track or like a certain artist that suddenly made you like fall in love with music, or think like, oh, just you thought it was suddenly amazing and it dawned on you wanted to be a musician or anything like that?
I really liked The Little Mermaid.
Right.
The song from The Little Mermaid, where she's like, part of your world. That thing. I used to sit there and I'd be like, oh, this is amazing. And
So you were like, I
want
want to be Ariel. I want to be the Little Mermaid.
I wanted to be the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
But Pearl Jam was my first proper into this sort of genre of music. That was where I went, oh, I love this.
How
I
old
love
were you then,
Eddie Vedder.
do you reckon?
That was not that long
No.
ago.
Oh, really? Like
No.
last month?
I was, like yesterday?
Yeah.
No, it
Like
was like
three-
I was
3 years ago?
15 or something.
Oh, really?
Well,
3
longer
years
than
ago. No, 22 now.
Yeah.
About 15.
So what were you into before that?
I really liked, I liked Lana Del Rey.
Okay.
And then I can't think of anything else. I was really into Halsey.
What's Halsey?
She's a pop singer.
Oh, okay.
And at the time she had this album called Badlands, and she wrote a lot of poetry.
Okay.
And I really liked her poetry and stuff and her lyrics.
Hmm.
So that was before then, but it's all different now. A different genre I'm into now.
Right. So, that's interesting then. So, like, what? But like, say, like, back when you were a kid, like, what would you listen to then? Was it just like Disney stuff? Was it like really
My
stereotypical?
gosh, I can't even remember. Probably whatever
You
our
weren't
mum
listening
wanted
to
to. I
anything,
wasn't
no.
really.
Yeah.
My mum used to listen to like a lot of like pop punk.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So probably that.
Like, can you give any examples?
Blink 182.
Oh, okay. Like all those American,
Yeah.
like punk
Yeah.
bands. Yeah.
And then she gave me a Michael Jackson CD when I was a kid.
Nice.
And the Beatles.
Oh, the
and
Beatles.
Then I found Everlasting Gaze by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah,
was the
man.
first proper song I liked when I was about 9, 10.
Yeah.
And then ever since then I kind of went, ooh, music.
So that was sort of like your gateway
Yeah,
into more like
that
alternative
song.
music.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So it was like pop punk until you were 10.
Yeah, I didn't really
Found
care
Smashing
though, at
Pumpkins.
that point.
You just didn't care about music at all.
No, not really. I was like, I played with clarinet. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's good.
And then I went really into it then.
Nice.
When I heard
man.
that song.
Oh, and like what from there? So once that sort of like opened up that little gateway for you, then sort of like, like sort of describe your little music journey after that. What sort of bands did you get into?
Went from Smashing Pumpkins into like all the grunge when I was a kid, and then I went into like really heavy metal, like guttural metal, like
death metal.
Yeah, Cannibal Corpse and Guttural Slug, and I Hate God, blah, 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 all those kind of things. Then I went into like a dubsteppy thing for some reason when I was like 14.
Super random.
Yeah, then went back to grunge.
That's quite like a 180, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
From I Hate God to dubstep.
Yeah, it was a weird period in my life. And then I went back into grunge again. Like it just went. Yeah. Oh, I had like a slacker rock period where I listened to a bunch of like Dinosaur Jr. and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
And
Dinosaur
shoegaze
Jr.
and stuff. Yeah. I saw Dinosaur Jr.
Cool. What like sort of like in terms of like the grunge bands? Have you got like a favourite or?
Oh, Alice in Chains.
Yeah, Alice in
come on.
Chains.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Honourable mention, Chris Cornell.
Oh, Soundgarden. Yeah, Soundgarden.
Soundgarden,
Yeah.
so good.
Grunt Truck.
It's hard to pick because they're all like so good. I
They're
feel
all
like it's
so
sort of like
good.
you go through stages, don't
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
It's difficult to pick one.
Yeah. So it's interesting that you got into sort of alternative music at quite late.
Yeah, I
Phoebe.
did. I know I'm late to the party.
Yeah.
Like a poser.
So how did you find Pearl Jam? Was that through Alex?
It was through Alex.
Yeah.
Are you the older one, Alex?
Yeah, he's
By
24.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a year and a bit.
Year and a bit. But he's
So you
really Pearl
influenced
Jam.
her. You made
Yeah,
her
I
start
influenced
listening.
both my sisters. Our
Yeah.
younger sister also just listened to only scream metal.
She's
So,
obsessed.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
what sort of stuff she into? Like,
Oh, you don't even want to know.
Crazy.
Insane stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just noise.
Just
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah.
It's mad. I never got into like Cannibal Corpse and stuff, but I do love bands like Death.
Yeah, that's
You know?
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it when it still has some melody to it.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
Death's like quite a nice balance because it is brutal, but it's still got some real beautiful melodies. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are
Yeah,
you laughing?
Just laughing at my sister. She listened to a band called Meth Drinker for a while.
Meth drinker.
Yeah.
Savage.
So that's
Weed
the
Eater,
kind
that's
of.
another one.
Yeah,
Right.
she loves Weed Eater,
Weed
yeah.
Eater, she loves that band.
Bongzilla, any of the.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
of Bongzilla.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Rosa.
Nice.
We
So,
like Typo Negative as well.
oh, I love
And
Typo
then
Negative.
Peter
Yeah.
Steele. She is,
Yeah, Pete
speaking
Steele.
of Rosa, she is such a
Yeah,
crush.
she's
She
got
has
a wall
whole
of Peter
wall
Steele.
of just
He was
pictures
such
of
a
him.
legend, yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of those
Yeah.
people that makes it's like sad, along with like Lane Staley and
Yeah.
obviously all the obvious ones that passed away. I still feel sad that Peter Steele passed away
Yeah.
because they're
Such
like
a legend.
one of my top 10 favorite bands, easy.
Yeah.
I can listen to Typo Negative like every single week.
every day.
October Rust's one of my favorite albums of all
Yeah.
time.
So good.
I think it's like you can listen to it from beginning to end and it's just an amazing album. And so unique as well.
It's really
like
cool.
what other band are like Typo Negative? You know?
I can't name you one.
Yeah, exactly. It's like such like an iconic voice and
Yeah,
everything
such
like
a good
that.
band. Such a good blend.
Blend. Such a good
Gotham
blend.
metal.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's amazing. And just like, it's just like quite a unique figure, isn't he? Just like this giant hulking fella.
This
Yeah.
huge guy.
Super long
with
black
his
hair.
Chain base strap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big heavy alembic.
Yeah. So when you like randomly got into Pearl Jam, you suddenly went quite deep into alternative
Yeah.
music like, right off the
So I
bat.
did like Pearl Jam and then Alice in Chains, Soundgarden. I really love like the grunge girl bands or stuff. Like I love Kitty, Veruca Salt, Jack Off Jill. It's one of my favorite bands. I love them.
I've never heard of them, I have to say.
Oh, they're really good.
Yeah.
They've got a song called My Cat, and that song makes me laugh. But
Yeah,
they're
it's,
really cool.
it's interesting. I can definitely hear like the Alice in Chains influence in your guys' music.
They're awesome. I love Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Jerry Cantrell.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
a legend.
The absolute legend, yeah. I think you can. There is like almost, it's like hard to pinpoint, isn't it? But I do think there's like every now and again there is like a little bit of like a gothicness to your guys' tracks as well.
Oh,
I can hear it like a
thank
little
I do
bit.
love a bit of goth rock. To be fair.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's cool. Even like old school stuff like Sisters of Mercy, I really
Oh,
like.
yeah.
You know?
Of course, yeah. Sisters of the Cure Bauhaus.
Yeah, that's what I thought
Yeah.
was really cool about your guys' live set earlier on. There was something about like your bassist Henry's playing that reminded me of a little bit like Sisters of Mercy, or maybe even in some places like Depeche Mode a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's just a really cool
Yeah, I
sound.
think Henry likes Depeche Mode.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, isn't it, when you listen to people or you get into a band and then you like find out their influences, and it just sort of makes sense to you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I can see that's like a nice little mix of ingredients there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you guys like really busy gigging around?
We've got quite a few gigs coming up towards the end of this year.
Mm.
I cannot remember the date.
Got quite a few in August as well.
We've
I
got
think.
quite a few in August.
Mm.
We're doing, God, don't even know. We're doing a podcast as well, which will be fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Somewhere in London.
Nice.
And then,
Have you done many like podcasts before?
no, not really. We were on Eagle Radio back in the day when
we first started.
when we first started, and that's about it. This is the second radio thing we've done, and it's so fun. I've had the best time. Thank you for having us.
No, thanks for coming, guys. So this is like the first podcast and like second radio show you've been on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's freaking awesome, man. Well,
It's so fun.
thanks so much for coming, guys. So when did you guys decide to form a band together then? Like, what was the sort of process behind that?
Well, Alex made the band when he was 15 or 16.
Yeah, I started playing guitar just to be in a band. So I made a band with a bunch of people from my college. Oh, no, I was 16 when I made the band. And we had like drummer, like another guitarist and a bass player. The usual, yeah. And then the drummer and the guitarist left, and it was me and the bass player, who was a good friend of mine. And then I was like, oh, I'm looking for a singer. And my mum was just like, my sister, you could use your sister. It's like, yeah,
he
fine.
didn't want to have me at the beginning.
Yeah, but
it's
I
like,
was
no.
And then that happened, and then we found another drummer, and then Phoebe played bass for a while. And then
I did. That was fun. That was
Did you play bass and sing, or just?
I did.
Oh, nice.
That's how we did one of our first gigs. I was terrified.
Yeah.
It still makes me nervous playing guitar now on stage because we've got one or two songs where I play guitar on.
Yeah.
one song.
Oh, one song. One song. And it scares me to play it live. Oh, it makes me nervous.
So how old were you when you like joined Alex's band?
I was 15.
Right. So that was like before you even got into alternative music.
Yeah.
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 So you were just like, so you sound like a bit of an odd one out then.
I was a bit of an odd one out.
Yeah, she didn't like any distorted riff. She was like,
I'd
no.
be like, oh no, don't do that now. Bring all the distortion.
Yeah.
Make it heavier.
Yeah, it was weird.
So you've been together for quite a while now then, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
How long has it been? Nearly 7 years?
No, it's been like
6 years?
it's coming up to this like 9 years now.
Not 9 years. It's not 9 years.
It must be something. If I was 16,
Yeah, but if I was 15, I'm now 22.
8 years.
I can't do maths.
Yeah,
I'm
about
very
8 years.
distracted.
About 8 years.
Yeah.
About 8 years.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. We've gigged a lot. I think gigging is one of my favourite things to do. I feel every gig you learn something new, and like the audience can teach you so much about how to perform. I think it's so fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we've done tons. We used to gig like every weekend.
We did.
For a while.
It seems like, because I've been following you on Instagram ever since I got into you guys. It seems like you gig quite often.
We'll literally accept
Or you have been
anything,
for a
pretty
while
much.
now,
Yeah. We've
We'll
had
just
kind of
do
a
it.
period recently we haven't gigged that much.
We switched out our drummer and bassist because we just went in different ways musically.
Yeah, sure.
With our last guys, they are so lovely though, Joe and Albert. They're both wonderful, and we're still friends with them. We still see them. But now we've got Billy and Henry, who are also amazing.
Yeah.
And I think their music influence is much more similar to us.
So what was the sort of musical differences, do you think?
I just think they were going in different directions.
Yeah,
Joe was going more folky and
So
stuff,
was
and
Albert. They're both going like into more folk music.
whereas we wanted to go heavier.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was sort of like a natural part.
Yeah.
But we love them.
And what about like Henry and Billy? Are they just sort of like more into all the same bands?
Yeah.
Yes.
Henry's in a metal band as well.
Yeah, called
cool.
Kangia.
Yeah,
And
and
they're really
then-
good.
Billy's in a band called Flounder, which is kind of like a grunge band.
They're awesome as well.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it works quite well.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome, guys. Yeah, one thing that was really cool about today was obviously you played like a brand new track.
Yes.
I'd never heard before, and that was so good hearing that as well.
Thank you
'Cause
so
it was
much.
such a good song, and it felt like a privilege to listen to it. You know?
That's very kind
Yeah,
of you.
thank you.
It was wonderful to play it to you guys.
Yeah. No, it was freaking awesome. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to listening to all the tracks back. Have you got like any like guitar heroes or anything like that, Alex?
Jerry Cantrell. Billy Corgan for a while, but I don't really like Billy Corgan as a person.
I always think there's a big drop off between long hair Billy Corgan and bald Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Modern Billy Corgan's just on a whole nother level of weird. Just
Yeah.
accusing everyone of copying him. It's weird.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, as I said, I think there's like a big drop off. I think I love watching some of the old like live stuff of them playing like festivals and gigs like back in the day. But it's almost like, to me, he was a bit like Samson. Like when he cut his hair, he like lost a lot of his.
Do
you know what I mean? It's like because like the first couple of albums, the first like say like 3 Smash Pumpkins albums are like so good, and then to me, obviously it's all in the eye of the beholder. But to me, there's like quite a big drop off.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then he had that weird band like Swan for a while, and I wasn't really that.
Oh, that was awful.
That was it was so bad.
Rock music.
Yeah, it was quite. That was quite bad, wasn't it? And then it's like, Smash Pumpkins are back together now, minus Darcy, but it's like, it's just any of their new stuff, I just can't dig it.
No,
but I
terrible.
love the original stuff.
Yeah, the original stuff's great. I like, what else do I like? Oh, Kim File from Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Just like noise. I was a big fan of like Thurston Moore and Lee Ronaldo from Sonic Youth for a while. And then obviously Jay Mascis, Dinosaur Jr.
What about like in terms of like metal influences? Who are your favorite metal guitarists? if you have any.
Jimmy Bowers from I Hate God. He's cool. He only plays with 4 strings because he can't control the feedback apparently.
Oh man.
I met him actually recently. He was cool.
Yeah, I remember the old lead singer of and guitarist of CKY used to do the same thing.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, what's his name?
I can't remember now. But yeah, he didn't have the B or the E string. Yeah,
it's weird. Just something that people do, I guess.
Yeah,
fun.
Cool. What about you, Phoebe? What sort of like other than the Little Mermaid?
Louise Post and Nina Gordon.
Nina Gordon.
My God, I can't remember her name now. I'm too nervous. Louise Post and Nina Gordon. They're the singers in Veruca Salt.
Nice.
I love them. I think they're probably more my recent influences. I don't know. I think it's sort of changed. For a while it was Lane Staley, although I cannot sing like Lane Staley. But I loved the notes that he would choose and like the way he'd go on his melodies and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
It's like haunting and powerful at the same time.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I think it just depends who I'm listening to at the moment. I'll sort of be like, oh, I like that. I'm going to try and do something like that.
Yeah, I think like in terms of like vocal harmonies, you can't beat Alice in Chains, can you? So unique.
No.
They're so cool.
So like haunting and unique.
Yeah.
I mean, are you guys like actively, I mean, obviously we heard the song earlier. Are you guys like working on a new album at the moment? Or
Yes, we're like trying to write lots of new songs. We'd like to do a new album.
Especially with new members.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've got a few that we've written.
Yeah.
So hopefully new music soon.
Yeah, that'd be freaking awesome. It was cool. As I said, one of the things that was really cool earlier on was I could tell how different your song sounded with your new members.
Yeah.
Especially obviously, not so much obviously with Billy, but that might have just been the cajon. But like hearing like the things like Henry was doing on the bass, and I said it really like accentuated what you were doing on the guitar as well, Alex. I thought, do you know what I mean? He wasn't just like doing the same thing as you.
Yeah.
But it was like really adding to it.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, Henry's real good.
Henry's wonderful. I love Henry.
Amazing. So yeah, what's all the guys' like immediate plans then?
Gosh. Well, we're just to gig a lot, to record a new album, to get new music out. Probably, we've got T-shirts. We've just started merch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, after
which is fun.
8 years.
After 8 years, we've released our first T-shirt. They are all hand painted and handmade. Like the T-shirts aren't handmade, but we bought the T-shirts and Alex bleaches them and then lino prints and then I paint. So each of the designs are individual.
Oh, amazing!
So
you should have bought some. I'd have bought one off you.
Oh my gosh, you can have one.
That's all right. I don't expect a freebie.
But so that's what we've been doing. So probably more merch. We've got a Depop shop. I'm trying to think what else. Like to play bigger shows. I think that's the next goal.
Yeah, no, of course.
We played a cool one. We played the Underworld in Camden.
Okay.
Not that long ago, and that was so fun. Or this place called this festival called Margate Rock Festival.
Yeah.
That was
awesome. We played the first year of that. That was quite fun.
That was really fun. I was like, it was so awesome. They had a fridge that someone would take something out and they just put it back in.
Phoebe, just back the just give the little microphone a little whack. Can you speak into it now?
Hello.
Yeah, sorry. Say that last little bit
back.
Again.
Can't get rid of me that easily. No, they would. If someone took something out of the fridge, they would put it back in. It was crazy.
It was real star treatment.
Yeah.
Wow.
We sat there like this. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Rock stars.
Yeah. They had like individual rooms for the bands playing later in the evening. I felt very fancy. It was very nice.
Amazing.
But I'd like to play more festivals like that. That was great.
I guess that's one really good thing about just living right next to London as well. Just access to all the.
Yeah, it is good. It's so easy to get to London from where we are.
Yeah, it's like an hour.
Yeah. Easy.
Have you guys gigged much more like around the UK or anything like that, or?
We mostly gig in London now. I can't think what's the furthest place we've gigged.
Margate probably actually.
Margate.
Yeah.
But
it's only 2 hours away from us.
But we'll gig wherever.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Sure. Cool, right, guys. Is there anything else you wanna? Anything else you want to spread the gospel of? we'll talk about? Or
so. Do you have anything else?
Big up Flounder.
Big up Flounder. Big up Kangia.
Yeah.
Big up the Colourblind Monks.
yeah. Well, yeah. This has been Phoebe and Alex from the Colourblind Monks.
Much.
I said, keep your eyes and ears peeled for their little unplugged set they just did with us. And yeah, thanks so much for coming on, guys.
Thank you so much for having us. You've had the best time.
Amazing. We're going to do like a little part 2 in a minute, but with
Woohoo!
Henry and Billy, the bassist and the drummer. So stick around, guys.
Thank you.
This is part 2 of our chat with the Colourblind Monks. Phoebe and Alex have been replaced with Billy and Henry. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, good.
You were good? Yeah, you did an absolutely amazing little unplugged set earlier on with us. I was absolutely freaking digging it. It sounded awesome. And I was saying to Phoebe and Alex, like, you know, I've listened to Janko Jones' Speaks to the Dead album quite a lot, but obviously that was before you guys came on. And obviously I couldn't say much to the difference with you, Billy, because obviously the cajon.
Yeah, I was on the drum.
Yeah, because you're just like, chilling on. Man, it still sounded good though.
Thanks,
But yeah, Henry is. Man, the songs all sound better with everything they were doing on the bass, man.
Cheers, thank you, appreciate that.
No worries at all, man. It was like really like accentuating what Alex is doing on the guitar, and just like your tone and everything that you were doing. Almost gave it like a bit of almost like a bit of like a Sisters of Mercy, almost like.
I love that band.
Yeah, me too, man. Almost like Depeche Mode-y, almost like even like a bit of a feel to it. But that was really cool, guys. So how long have you both been in the band now?
I think Henry's been longer than me. I've been a couple months now, I think.
Yeah?
I filled in on a few shows last year. But as like for full time, a couple of months.
Nice, guys. And then you both are in other bands as well. You're in a band called Flounder, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
It's like a grunge band? Oh, cool. How long have you been in that?
Well, we started doing it properly in like lockdown.
Just playing to no one.
Playing to literally no one, yeah. But then we started. We were never going to take it serious. We were both in other bands. It was just something to do. Yeah. And then we reached a point where we were like, we have too many songs now to not do anything with. So that was about 3 years ago, I think, we started gigging.
Nice, man. How long have you been playing the drums?
God, since I was 11, so 13 years now.
Yeah. What was like your sort of, you know, in terms of like your musical journey? Can you remember, like, was there like a band or an artist when you were like a little kid that you heard and you thought like, I really want to be a musician, or I want to start playing the drums, or like how did you become a drummer come about?
Oh, well, when I was a kid, I used to just pick up random hobbies. So I tried everything. And then my primary school were doing like free drum lessons, and I just thought I'd give it a go. And then it was sort of, out of everything I tried to pick up, it was like the only thing I was actually good at. Right. So I thought, you know, stick with it.
Fair play. You just like had that natural rhythm.
Yeah. It felt the most natural out of everything. Like I tried skateboarding and you know things like that.
Just falling over all the time.
And just ended up injured all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, man.
Drums was easier.
What about sort of like musical influences and stuff?
Well, my drum teacher was a guy called Vince Dunn, and he was a jazz guy, still is. So he would put me onto a lot of sort of jazz records and that. But then my dad would show me drummers like Keith Moon and Led Zeppelin, John Bonham, Mitch Mitchell, you know. So I got different sort of.
So like jazz, but then you got like the rock influence as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
What about like yourself? Like when you started, like, you know, developing more of like your own identity and your own like musical identity, what sort of like bands did you sort of start listening to like in your spare time?
Well, again, a lot of like 70s sort of bands. Like again, Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, Sabbath, and then got into a lot of 90s bands. 80s I sort of skipped.
Yeah.
But I got into a lot of 90s bands, you know, Nirvana, Alice in Chains and all that.
All the grunge bands.
All the grunge bands, yeah.
Favourite grunge band?
Alice in Chains.
Yeah, probably. I'd probably say the same thing. Yeah. Amazing, man. What about you, Henry? How did you like get into playing bass?
I don't know. I started on sax. I played sax for years.
Nice, Kenny G.
Yeah. I don't know. I was being pushed down lots of jazz stuff that I wasn't actually that fussed about. So I was like, I like the bass.
How did you get into playing sax?
I think my mum had one in the loft.
Were you like, how young were you at the time?
Like 8.
Oh yeah.
I think it was as big as me.
So you just sort of like found one that was your mum's and just started.
I was like, we can try this.
Yeah.
It's shiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't play that much anymore. But,
no. So how did you go from sax to bass?
I can't really remember. I had a bass from Cash Converters or something.
Oh, so did you go buy it, or it was like a present from
my
someone?
parents when I was like maybe like 11 or something, and I started figuring it out and started getting like lessons when I was 14 or something. Like,
oh,
I
nice.
can't remember, but, yeah.
Nice, man. What about like in terms of like musical influences? Like what sort of stuff did you listen to when you were like a little kid, and how did that sort of like evolve over the years? And what would you say are like your musical influences nowadays, or the bands that resonate with you most, things like that?
Yeah, I don't know. It used to be a lot of like kind of late 90s, early 2000s, old rock and stuff. Bands like Feeder, Killers, that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know, lots of that. Lots of soul and funk music that I was shown by teachers and stuff. Recently, more heavier stuff, like prog stuff. And
yeah, like what? Give examples, man.
I love a band called Tesseract. They're really good.
Yeah.
One of my favourites. I love lots of post-hardcore, like Static Dress.
Bands
like that. Loathe.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Cool. And how would you say, like, because you know you've got quite like a, so you've got like quite like a unique bass style. I say it almost reminds me a little bit in some ways, of almost like Jason Newsted, like Jason Newsted from like Metallica, but you know can almost like Drew was saying earlier, almost like a bit Geddy Lee-ish a little bit from Rush as well. Like how would you, did you just like authentically develop your bass style, or was there like any bassist that you were sort of like trying to emulate or anything like that? Or
I don't know. I mean, I'm very flattered to be, you know, compared to any of them. I think I never really went as far back with bass. Maybe I should have. I think it's probably more people who are more recent who probably took lots from those guys. Yeah, I don't know. Got a bass player from Tesseract's awesome. A guy called Amos Williams. He's really great. Like Mudvayne and stuff for like heavier music. Apart from that, more.
So it was just like a really authentic. You just discovered your own bass style really authentically. It wasn't like you listened to like one person. You're like, oh, they're amazing. No, I'm gonna listen to loads of their stuff and try and emulate that or anything.
There's definitely a lot of different people. Yeah.
Oh, cool. And Phoebe and Alex saying that you guys are working on some like new material at the moment. Yeah, so what's like, are you guys involved in the creative process with that? Or?
We have been.
Yeah,
recently,
it's very, it's much more like jam oriented than my other band, which is a bit more sitting down and writing stuff. So it's a cool change of pace. It's fun.
Do you prefer that? Do you think?
There's
just
like merits to both.
Just apples and oranges. Just apples and oranges.
It's very much like we'll go through something and we'll just jam like a whole song structure and then be like, right, next thing, and then just move on, you know. But Phoebe records it all on her phone, so that's how we actually remember, because none of us are going to remember.
Oh, it's hard.
After.
Yeah, it's easy to remember the chords, but not the melodies, isn't it? You know, that's the thing.
Well, I ain't got to worry about either of those. But
Sure. Sure. And what about like your other band, Henry? What's that called?
It's a band called Kangia.
Kangia.
Only started in the last year or so, but kind of modern metalcore influenced.
Oh, okay.
Bit shoegazy.
Oh, nice. Sounds like a nice mix of stuff, man. Thanks. Cool. And say, like, how did you guys end up like joining the Colourblind Monks? What was that process?
I can't. I think I was like in some like group chat in Guildford for like local bands, and they put in a thing saying they needed a bass player to cover a show, and I was like, whatever, I'll be brave and I'll say hi, and they kept me around, I guess.
Just took the plunge.
Yeah.
What about you, man?
Well, I'd obviously with my other band played with them a few times, and I always really liked their music, and I actually just listened to their music all the time. And then I went to one gig. Did you see the old drummer? He seemed like he was sort of on the way out, so I thought I'd just shoot a message. And I saw they did an acoustic gig, so I thought I'd just shoot a message and be like, I don't know the situation, but just I'll throw it out there. If you need a drummer, or I'll be happy to step in. And then they haven't got rid of me yet.
Yeah, it's all fell into place.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Is there anything that you guys like want to like plug or in particular like talk about or anything like that, or?
Check out his band.
Check out his band.
Check out Flounder and what was the other one again?
Kangia.
Yeah. All right, awesome, guys. Well, thanks very much for chatting to me today. And as I said, guys, you know, keep your ears and eyes peeled, because that unplugged set we did earlier on was awesome. So we'll be releasing that on the radio and on the internet real soon. Cheers, guys.
Thanks so much.
Welcome back, guys. That was Spite by the Colourblind Monks. Want to say thanks again to the Colourblind Monks for coming into the studio. Can't wait to watch that unplugged set back. It's still being edited at the moment. But I know enough to know that it was epic and it's going to be epic when we-release it. But
exceeded expectations, man.
Yeah,
I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
I think, and I think the fact that you think that I think that, and I'm pretty sure Drew thinks that as well, is nothing but a good sign.
Absolutely.
So thanks again, Colourblind Monks.
From what I've heard, it sounds really good.
You're gonna love it, Perry Day Greenleaf.
Can't wait.
You're gonna love it, and I think everyone else is online as well. I feel like the Colourblind Monks. And it was cool watching this when they did their set, as I feel like you're watching a band on the rise.
Yes.
What I mean by that is I'm not trying to be all like grandiose and cheesy. What I mean by that is
Hungry.
They played a brand new song called, I believe, Shimmers. I believe it's called Shimmers. And I was thinking while I was listening to it, because obviously I had the headphones on because I was trying to make sure the levels were all good. So I was deliberately almost like trying to tune out of the room. So I was like just staring at the floor, and I was getting into like the sound was coming in through the headphones rather than listening to it live like everyone else was. And I was thinking, do you know what? This might be their best song yet. And that's what I mean when I say like you're seeing a band like on the rise. I mean, like it's really cool to see like an artist, regardless of whether it's a musician or you know, like a painter or whatever, like you're watching them like almost like evolve in real time. And that was really cool. And also it was just like really cool as well that we'll have that unplugged track by them, which you know, as far as I'm aware, is like going to be their first recording of that new song. Even if it is a new live song, that doesn't really negate its importance, because I mean loads of bands just record live anyway. I mean Black Sabbath obviously been a good example of that. You know, recorded their whole entire first album, Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath, in one day.
It's that hunger, isn't it? You see so many bands that are successful, like once they sort of get past those first really successful albums, they almost lose the hunger a little bit. And that's maybe when quality starts to drop. Not in every case, of course, but in quite a lot.
Sometimes it might not even be the hunger. It might just be that the magic, for whatever reason, is gone.
Exactly. The lightning in the bottle.
Some bands, their first album is their best album.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, everything after that is almost just like a bit like their first album, but not as good.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's just interesting, isn't it? Because everyone's different. And you've got other artists that, I don't know, they might have like 20 albums. They might not have even found their stride until like their 8th album, you know? So it's quite interesting, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You know, everyone's different. And then you've got other artists that are like super consistent. You know, like every album is just good, you know? Just
I think as well there's an issue, isn't there, where when you do something that's really well received originally, you almost like set a standard and set an expectation of what your next thing's going to sound like. And if people are sort of anticipating that for a long time, the second that it comes out and isn't exactly what those people want, then they just almost throw it away as not as good as the first, not as good as the first. But I think in some cases, like maybe it could be that album's actually getting overlooked. You know what I mean? Underappreciated, perhaps, just because it's not what people were anticipating or not what people wanted, even if it's still really good.
I can think of like a couple of Metallica albums that would make me think of, you know, because you always like, I don't know, it's really weird. I feel like you're doomed if you do and doomed if you don't, though, because if you only ever like release the same old thing, you know, even if the individual songs are great, if it still sort of sounds similar enough to the last album, people will say like you're a one-trick pony.
Don't they say that's the hardest album to make is your second album? Isn't that like a common phrase?
I think I have heard that at some point before. I mean, I wouldn't put too much like into a statement like that anyway, because I think it just depends. Depends on the artist. I'm sure there were loads of artists that will be like, you know, the first album was really hard. By the time the second one came out, you know, around I was in my stride. Other people might say the second one was the hardest. Do you know what I mean? I think it really does depend on. I expect a lot of artists write their second album. They're not even like, do you know what I mean? They're not even thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? They're not even putting that pressure on themselves.
I guess that's almost like more in the set that phrase would be more used in the sense of someone whose first album was really successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I still think that sometimes people might just not think about it. You know, I think they might just be so just into like just writing and stuff like that. Or like I don't know, they just wouldn't even like think of it like that. You know.
One thing I always think is really interesting that it's the side of things that we never really get to see, but it's like the record label side of things, where you hear so many artists say that their albums have been like songs have been taken away by the record label and like or songs have had to be changed because the record label wants it changed. That's always been a bit mental to me. That you could like as an artist you could make your work and then someone just above you could just be like, nope, do it again or get rid of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird though. I mean, I haven't.
Can't they give it to somebody else as well? Doesn't that happen?
Well, no, it depends on like who wrote the song. So like most bands that I like have like written all their own songs, so they own the song. So you couldn't just like the record label couldn't just like give it to somebody else.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that more happens probably in more like pop music and maybe some other genres. But Not like all the big, like my favorite bands, like that. It's not really so much an issue, I don't think. Obviously, there are more alternative record labels, more alternative bands, whether it's like metal bands or grunge bands and stuff.
I think it definitely happens in like rap quite a bit.
I bet it would.
I've heard like a lot of rap artists say that before. Like they've had to really push for a sample that they want being used that just can't get cleared, and the record label won't clear it. And like I was talking to you guys the other day about the new Clips album, which they actually got released from their record label because the record label wouldn't have a song with Kendrick Lamar on it, but they believed that the album needed it, and it was like the art mattered more to them than the money.
Yeah,
you know, so they actually dropped out of their record label deal just to release the album that they wanted to release. I thought that was really respectful.
I think that was really cool. I think, you know, like kudos to them for like sticking to their guns.
Yeah,
I mean, the record label's like is like notoriously ruthless, isn't it? I know that like you know, basically, as soon as a band is not seen as like a commodity anymore, they will just pretty much be dropped.
Yeah.
I know that, like, you know, Black Sabbath were on Vertigo, I believe, for like their first like 5 or 6 albums. And then basically, when Ozzy left for the first time, because he was just, you know, too many drugs. And I think he was actually fired from the band because he was just becoming too crazy. He, like, you know, he like left the band and then he came back, and then I think he was fired from the band. But anyway, Vertigo just basically dropped him because they were like, you know, you're not like an A-tier band anymore, so like we don't care about you.
Yeah.
And then they eventually, you know, and then they went on like a lot more like underground record labels for a while, like niche record labels. And then I think eventually when Ozzy rejoined them, then suddenly they got picked up again. I think it was like Vertigo again, or it might have been Sony or someone. Do you know what I mean? But
I think when you like really like an artist's music, a good example is Taylor Swift. Of course, uber successful. Like uber successful. That's a good word. I'm quite happy to fit that in a way that actually made sense. So successful, obviously. But obviously she did, I don't know if you'd know about this, man. She re-released all of her albums, but called Taylor's Version. So she didn't own any of the rights to all of her music. Yeah. The record label owned it. So every time it was getting streams, all of that, she wasn't making any money or anything from it.
That's criminal, isn't it?
It is. And I think as an artist and as a fan of that artist, you would want your stream money, you know, to actually go to the person who made the music.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? So she re-released all of her albums, but like Taylor's version, and just like re-sang all the bits. So now they're her own songs, and those are the ones that everyone streams instead. So she actually makes money from it.
I'm pretty sure her original ones are now owned by her, though. I think she did something legally, possibly, and now they are her songs as well.
Okay.
Because I remember seeing about... I have a really big Taylor Swift fan friend, and she was like, I'm so happy I can listen to the original version because I actually hated Taylor's version. But I didn't want to like support, I wanted to support her, so I listened to her version. But like they're like happy they can listen to the OG ones now without it like.
Well, I think to be fair to Taylor Swift, like regardless of what you think of her, she has written all of her own music, as far as I'm aware. I mean, she is like a proper singer-songwriter. Like, you know, plays guitar, like sings, writes her own music.
She's evolved a lot as well. If you listen to like her first albums, they were a
like
lot
country,
more like definitely country.
She's like slowly became like more like country pop, and now almost just basically like pop with maybe like a bit of a country twang.
A bit more like folky and stuff as well in places, I believe.
Yeah,
yeah. And you saw
folk
her
and country
tour.
Is sort of intertwined, but
yeah, you saw her Eras tour. That was like major big, like
huge. I don't know too much.
It was like a whole, almost like a day long.
I think
like,
one of
concert.
the like most successful tours ever.
Yeah, especially by like a woman. Like
man, she's a very powerful woman nowadays, isn't she?
Yeah.
Like especially obviously in the music industry, but almost like just in general.
Yeah, it's crazy seeing like when she went to the Super Bowl. Because obviously she's now with Travis Kelce.
Who's like an NFL player.
Exactly. And he was in the final with the Super Bowl. And the cameras were more on like Taylor Swift than the actual game half the time.
That's
which
crazy,
is insane, isn't it?
She's actually had like quite a lot of like high profile boyfriends, hasn't she?
She went out with Harry Styles.
She went out with Harry Styles?
Yeah.
I know that she went out with Tom Hiddleston.
I think she went out with Jake Gyllenhaal, maybe?
Was that Jake Gyllenhaal? I know she went out with Tom Hiddleston, right? who played Loki in Marvel. But apparently she seems to have gone out with a lot of guys, but apparently at the same time she was very, well, this is just, I think I just read this somewhere. She's like very like picky, you know, about like, I don't know, like maybe like she didn't sleep with any of them or something. I don't know.
No idea.
I have no idea.
I know she was with Harry Styles in 2012.
How would I know that? How would I know? I think I just read that somewhere. That she was
circulating rumours.
You heard this one here.
Yeah, what you
I heard it here first.
She's a picky lady. I don't know. I think I heard that something like, you know, she's got like these values like, well, you know, she's obviously like willing to date, you know, if she's attracted to somebody. I don't know. I think I heard
Fair
something
to
like
her
that.
though, if you are like a pop star as well, and you like not in like a big headed way, but like she can kind of get whoever she wants.
Yeah.
Like fair enough that you're not just gonna sleep with all of them.
Yeah, and I think it's like, you know, it must be really tempting when you're that famous and that celebrated. Let's face it, regardless of like what sex you are, you will have, you know, members of the opposite sex or whoever you find attractive, like throwing themselves at you. Mm-hmm. And especially if you're like, say, out and you're partying and like you're drinking, having a good time. Do you know what I mean? You can see how it'd be very easy, especially for a young person, to do things that in hindsight they might regret later on in their lives. Because especially when you're that wasted, things just sort of like end up happening. Yeah. So I think for people that are like that screwed on when they're young, to like, you know, to like, you know, like fair play.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't really know.
I've not got too much to add to that, but yeah.
No, Bond was like, I wish I'd done that. Why are you going to Thailand, man? Ping pong.
Ping pong.
Oh gosh.
But yeah,
let's bring some interesting stories to you guys.
I'm excited, man.
Just before we came back in to talk to you, what movie was that you were on about? Perry Doe? About with Owen Wilson?
Yeah, No Escape. It's one set in Thailand actually, and it's like,
oh, there you go.
Yeah, he's
Just
doing work there for them,
Mm.
and suddenly all the people there decide to like kill everyone that's not from Thailand, and it was terrifying. And I was like, that's
they tried
scary.
to kill everyone who's not from Thailand.
They did kill everyone who's not like from
wow.
Thailand, and like all the like British people and American people. They killed them all. They raided the embassy.
Whoa!
Like,
What Thais did that?
terrifying.
Thais did that.
It was in the film, yeah.
Wow.
And that's why I
didn't
never wanted
realise
to
that
go
we
to
had
Thailand.
such aggressive relations.
Yeah,
with the
I never wanted to go to Thailand, and then I realised.
And you said this was based on like a real story.
Well, I don't think
she needs to be careful what she says. She's going to start an international.
Gonna get
imagine that.
I don't think it actually
How there's
is.
one Thai person watching like slander.
I don't think it actually is, but I thought
You got a
when I
problem
was
with that?
watching it.
You got a problem with that, Winkleberry?
I don't, man.
Just checking.
I thought when I was watching it that it came up with a true story, but I don't think it did. Thinking back to it.
Right.
So I don't think it actually is based on a true story, but I'd be terrified if it actually was, especially because I'm going to Thailand as well, and I'm flipping scared.
Have you ever watched the talking of a movie that's like really terrifying? Have you ever watched Hostel?
Yeah, back in the day,
mate.
I don't know.
Movie. Now I remember we went to my friend's house and got intoxicated. You know, went on a little walk, did a little puff, and
that's when the hand TikTok was made.
A little puff and a pass, you know, and
hello.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I remember we were gonna get back and just like watch something funny, or like God knows what we were gonna put on. And then my mate's dad just came in and was like, "No, you boys are gonna watch this."
Man, what a legend! I instantly like your friend's dad.
Yeah,
I can't wait to do stuff like that when my kids are old enough.
I remember just sitting there, and we just sat in silence, all like a little bit out of it, just to be like, I don't know if I like this anymore. You know, I was
so
kind of a
good.
bit freaked out.
So good, man. So good. Man, you know you were saying that you had that dream about being
getting like gassed,
being gassed. I think I forgot to tell you guys. Did I say that like when I was in the Natural History Museum in London, we had to get evacuated?
What?
No, you didn't ever said that.
You didn't tell me this.
Man, like, and a lot of people were like freaking out. I thought there was like a terrorist attack in the Natural History Museum. Man, the fire alarms just started going off. And then like all of the freaking staff were like you could tell that they were packed. They were like, you need to make your way to the exits now.
That's
like,
crazy.
Quick, hurry up. We need to make your way to the exits now. And then there were literally like people like, but then the exits obviously were like so crowded. There was like massive crowd of people all just trying to squeeze out obviously these doors at the same time. And there were like people like hyperventilating in the crowd and stuff. And I was like looking around, you know, when you go into almost like fight or flight mode, and I was like scanning, looking for anybody that looked like they were going to like cause any damage, or anyone that had like a suicide vest on or like a weapon. And I was like, man, this might be the moment I have to go full Jack Reacher. I've been training for this my entire life. And I was like scanning, and then was like, and I was like, it's all right. But I was sort of like at the same time, I was sort of gently nudging her and pushing her forward, because you've got to be assertive in situations like that, haven't you? Because a lot of people were almost like they were like waiting to get out the door, but you know, it was at the same time they were almost in panic mode, so they weren't really doing anything.
Yeah.
And once
so
the people are out the door, they don't move. They're just standing outside.
That's it. So I was sort of like making a way through the crowd, but I had like Emily and Evie in front of me, so I was like guiding them like through the crowd, and then I had with Lisa, who was our friend that we were there with in London, and then Nick, who's Lisa's boyfriend, was like by me, and I was sort of like trying to like guide everything, but like keep them all calm at the same time.
Like
and then
sheepdog.
Yeah, I was like a big sheepdog. Yeah. That's exactly right. I mean, just call me Shiloh. And then yeah, we finally got outside, which was quite a relief, as you can imagine, because it's almost one of those things in that situation like that when you suddenly breathe that fresh air and you're outside. You're like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I'm outside now. But I went up to like the security guard and I was like, what's happening? And he was like, don't worry. This is all routine. This was all planned. But I could just tell that something was up. And anyway, they were like, yeah, it's all routine. Don't worry, it's all planned. I was like, what's the deal now? Do we just have to like leave or what? And he was like, no, everyone wait. He was like, everyone should be able to go back inside. We just need to wait until further notice. So we like just went and basically like took like a little walk down the way a little bit, and then we're just like waiting. And I was like still just like making sure I was like scanning everything around, but we were just having this nice chat and stuff. So we were having a nice chat. Actually, I think we were randomly chatting because Nick is he's randomly like an expert on planes.
Okay.
So we were talking about that like India airplane crash. Because he knew like he knows lots about like models of planes and everything, and he was going really in depth to me about like the model of plane that crashed and you know why it should or should not have crashed and what that, you know, because he just like, knows a lot about that stuff. He's just a very intelligent guy. Anyway, eventually we were let back in, but I went back up. I went to another security guard and I was like on the way back in, and I was like, so what was that all about then? And I was just sort of like pressing them. Do you know what I mean? I was like, because I reckon like something's off. I think like, you know, I want to know like if I'm going to be like going back in there with my family and stuff. And they were like, yeah, mate, we've been telling everyone it was a routine thing. They were like, to be honest, I think some kid just like hit the fire alarm, but obviously like we didn't know why it went off, so we had to like get everyone out of the building and just assess, you know, like scan every room and like find the fire alarm that had gone off. And so I think basically some little punk had just like smashed the fire alarm, but obviously because they didn't know why it happened. And obviously let's face it, like London, big city. You know, you hear a lot of horror stories nowadays, don't you?
As well,
Capital.
England.
And also, it's
on top of it as well, of all of the places to burn down, that's probably, do you reckon that's up there with the most expensive in the world?
Oh yeah, and
probably
also, not just that, but you have to think about the implications as well of like a place where like say like evolution is celebrated. You know, even things like dinosaurs and that, because I don't know, to some people, like, you know, like in some countries, you know, you hear about like in some countries where like ISIS used to like smash up like any statue that was like that like predated anything that they believed in, for example. Which is like savage, isn't it? Because it's just like vandalism. It's just like you're destroying your own like culture. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think it's an odd thought to us, isn't it? Because like I don't really care what say people in Britain believed in 10,000 BC.
No, and we like, even in the past, that's such like a shame. Like we've spoken before. I don't know if we've spoken about it, but I've definitely spoken about it with like Jake and Josh and people like that. Like almost the tragedy of how many castles and stuff we lost. Oh yeah. From like
English Civil War,
all just getting like smashed down. Afterwards.
Like Stairgate Castle.
It's brutal. Like there would be such a richer culture, and there already is a rich culture. Don't get me wrong, but if every single castle still remained, imagine how cool it would be.
That's almost like why like locally to us, why Dunster Castle seen as like quite special in a way, because Dunster Castle was one of the main castles locally to us that was undamaged by the English Civil War. So it's like obviously it's like beautiful. You can go there. Whereas like, you know, you look at a lot of other castles, whether it's like Sherborne Castle, Stairgate Castle, many other
Oliver
castles.
Cromwell that was like bringing them all down.
Yeah. Well, like the Puritans.
I'd love to live in a castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd wear a big dress all the time.
What's her name?
Rapunzel?
No, sister of
No, Rapunzel's in a
Clannad.
tower.
Enya. Do you know that Enya lives in a castle? Do you know who Enya is?
No.
See, this is such a big cultural shift, isn't it?
No.
So in the 90s, Enya was like one of the biggest artists of the 90s. She was like in the charts all the time. She basically made almost like folk pop music, wasn't it? Really?
Okay.
It was like it was almost like electronic-y, ambient, folky pop music. I can't remember if it's her cousin or her sister is Moya Brennan, who's the lead singer of Clannad, who's one of my favorite folk bands. But anyway, Enya lives in a dope ass castle.
I didn't even know that, man.
She outbid someone for it in like 95 or something like that, and then she's had it like personalized to her tastes. It used to have apparently like a secret exit that used to go down to the local beach, but she had that filled in because she was worried that like weirdos were going to find it and like go up it and then gain entrance to her castle. So she had that filled in, but she's
chain entrance to my castle.
Yeah. But she's got like escape rooms, like an escape room in there, and it's all like custom made. She's got like big like walls all around the castle so that people can't get in. And
surely she knows how to
I don't think like an escape room is in like a puzzle. I think it's more like so that you can escape.
An escape room,
like an escape room that you
like
go
a panic
to.
room. Sort
and I'm
of
like,
thing.
that's pretty bad.
They call it an escape room, don't they? Because you escape into it.
I get what you mean.
Say if there was a home invader,
yeah,
you would go into what's called your like escape room.
Yeah.
Or I guess you could call it a panic room as well. I think I've heard it called that before.
Yeah, panic room.
And then you would like you're safe in there. There's no way.
I like the idea of her just going into the same like puzzle room every single day.
What
and
I was
you're like, how am I gonna get out of here?
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
like a maze, like a
Yeah.
maze that for the last 20 years she hasn't been able to figure out yet.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'd love to have like a Beauty and the Beast castle. Like
Yeah?
the Beast's castle is sick. I'd love to have that. That'd be so cool.
Have either of you ever done an escape room before?
No, but I really want to.
No,
That's so fun, man.
I reckon
Might do that for my 18th
I'm a little
birthday.
bit concerned I might get too into it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I reckon
I
reckon a flip.
can
I reckon
imagine.
a switch might flip, man.
Yeah.
I reckon it'd be hard to bring me back from it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You get Stockholm syndrome and start like trying to live down there.
I'd be worried that it would end up with like some sort of lawsuit.
Oh god.
Do you know what I mean?
That's so funny. The one I did with Josh and Jake was probably the funniest one.
Yeah,
I've done.
it did sound
The
hilarious.
escape of Pigman.
What sounded so funny was just like the way that like you told me that Jake basically just sacrificed Josh.
Literally.
Completely.
So we was
What?
being chased by a guy called Pigman. Like you go in, you get into the escape room and they like chain you to the wall and like handcuff you.
What?
So you're just in this like dark room. I think they didn't give Jake a flashlight, so the whole time we were like trying to unscrew ourselves like to start the thing, and Jake was just going, "I just can't see. I just can't see," the whole time, which was really funny. And me and Josh got out because there was like, you know, you shine your flashlight around, you can see codes that then like allow you to get unlocked. And there's various puzzles throughout. And there was a few people like dressed up as like weird murderers and butchers and stuff that were like, I don't know, doing a weird voice and telling us what, but giving us hints essentially.
Oh,
if
so
we
being
needed
nice.
to.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of, but also being a bit like, Pigman's gonna get you. And we got to the end, finished the escape room, and you just hear like a chainsaw rattle. And I think the woman who was with us like, he's coming. And then he started like running around the corner like at us with a chainsaw, I think. But I didn't have enough time to see it because the second the chainsaw started, Jake pushed me forward and threw Josh like backwards towards the chainsaw. Essentially just
He tried to save you, but he just sacrificed Josh.
Essentially
saved the
sacrificing
baby.
Josh. And then just like shoving me up the stairs to
Like
like get away
throwing
from
you
it
up
as we all like sprinted away.
I love that.
That's
That's
funny.
so good.
I might do an
really
escape
funny.
room for my 18th birthday. That'd be fun. Been
You
wanting to do it for
should.
ages.
You should do one of the like horror ones that
I don't know
did.
if I have enough friends to do that though. That's quite boring. I need to have like a couple friends, don't I?
Doing it by yourself would be a bit mental.
I would never do it, but I'd be stuck in there for life. I wouldn't even get past the first room.
I'd be worried that my brain would do some like weird reboot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can
Factory
imagine you
reset.
getting like annoyed.
It's a lot of like stimulation and a lot of like different like input with like potential threat.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't be able to do a horror one. I don't think. I think
thought
I
it
would
was-
like cry, like full on, like
one
cry.
one of
Yeah.
one of Emily, my wife's old friends, who was in a year at school, actually used to work in a place like that. And a guy, a little bit like what I'd be concerned would happen with me in that scenario, a guy flipped in there and just decked him, but like fully decked him. Yeah.
Whoa. You'd have to do one of the ones that was just like just find the pirate's treasure. You know what I mean?
It's like a little friendly kid's
I reckon
one.
you
You're
could get
just
away with
stuck in
that.
a room.
I'm gonna find the pirate's treasure.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's all the same
keep it
like
light,
sort
man.
of puzzles.
Keep
and
it
stuff,
light.
but
Keep it light.
there's no threat there.
Yeah.
I thought another really funny bit of when we did that one with my brothers is at one point they put Josh in like a little room by himself,
Yeah.
a dark little like cupboard basically. They were like, one of you have to come with us. And I think Josh got like volunteered and he went in there and he didn't realise that there was like stuff for him to do in there at first. So he just sat there in like a dark room waiting for ages.
Oh, that's so good.
And then he
Oh,
found out
God.
after a while that there was like a skeleton in front of him that had like clues to help him get out.
Oh,
But
okay.
Right.
very fun.
I like how he's just like, well, I'll just wait long enough. Someone's
Yeah,
gonna
someone
let
will
me
do it.
out.
But also, I don't think he like made a sound while he was in there. So it was almost like he had just disappeared.
Just sat in silence.
Yeah.
It's like when you throw up at school and you're waiting for your mum to come get you, so you just sit there like.
Yeah, I'd love to do stuff like that again though. They're so fun. That
is cool. Tell you what, something really weird happened to me last night. Right? I mean, you guys know me, skeptic, healthy skeptic, open-minded skeptic, I should say. That's the one I like to go with, isn't it? Yeah. So I do not believe, obviously, that this was a ghost. But at the same time, not going to lie.
But it was.
But at the same time, I have no explanation for this. And this is really weird. This is actually really weird,
I'm
right?
excited.
So Emily went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm downstairs on my own in the living room with my two cats, Pancho and Lily. Shout out Pancho and Lily. And I was just had some telly on in the background, just chilling out basically. Like at that point, when Em goes to bed, I always turn all the lights off in the living room, apart from like one quite dim light in the corner, so it's just nice and peaceful. And then in like the room next to the living room, I heard like a bang, which sounded like something almost like being dropped on the floor. And I thought, oh yeah, it's obviously just like probably one of the cats. But after about sort of like 20 seconds of just pondering, I thought, oh, I'll just see what it is actually, because it was like, you know, it was like quite like an intrigue. It was like a really loud noise, so I was like, I was quite intrigued by it, and I thought, I'll just quickly see. So I went into the room like expecting to see one of the cats, and I was like, oh. And then I checked, and like Pancho and Lily were both like asleep in the corner of the living room, so I was a bit like, that's a bit weird. And and I noticed that there was just like a dumbbell was just like in the middle of the room that I'd heard the noise.
Whoa!
But like a dumbbell,
that's
not
a
like
heavy thing to be moving around.
Not like
Strange.
Where would it have been beforehand?
Like a little dumbbell rack.
Did it roll off flat somehow? Was it not put on it properly?
Well, that's what I wondered. But you've got to bear in mind it was like probably about 11:30 at night. All the windows were shut. I did have one small window open in the living room, but there wasn't really any breeze. If it was like not put back on the rack properly, I just think it's a little bit weird that it would have taken like, you know, because it like I didn't see Em or Evie move those dumbbells at all since I'd got back from work yesterday. Yeah. So at that point it would have been like over 6 hours at the least.
I don't think a cat would have been able to move it even if they were awake.
Well, that's what I think. I mean, maybe they could have like bashed into it if like hard enough to like just knock it off the thing. But either way, I thought that was a bit weird.
It is a heavy thing to be just like rolling around, isn't it?
Surprised it didn't wake them either, like the cats.
They didn't really seem that bothered by it. I mean, it wasn't like really like, it wasn't like a crash. It was just like, you know, when you imagine you just heard almost like, imagine if you just heard someone drop, say like a light dumbbell in the next room. That's what it sounded like, you know. I
was going to drop something then, but then I thought maybe not.
Just like almost like, because it's like they're covered in rubber, but obviously where it's still heavy and where it's like a hard floor, it's not like a carpet. Yeah. It's still sounding very substantial, you know.
So it wasn't like the house settling or anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I thought that was a bit weird. I mean, yeah, probably has a logical explanation, but I can't find it.
I like those stories, man.
I can't
That's all
find
you need to have a good story.
And for whatever it's worth...
Get Claire in for it.
Well, yeah, for whatever it's worth, Claire did say that our house is apparently haunted by a mischievous little boy.
Okay.
Who likes to tamper with things.
Okay.
So that could have been him.
That makes sense.
And I remember she did say years ago that apparently he likes to mess with things like the water and the electrics, and we have had issues with both our electrics and our water over the years.
Claire did say that all of my rooms pretty much are haunted. Like the room I work in, the room I sleep in.
You've had some like dark nightmares as well, haven't you, in your room?
I have, yeah.
That's probably why.
I have a lot of them, yeah.
That like mental one you told me about, where it was like you had this mental nightmare and then you woke up and then you were like had sleep paralysis and this thing was next to your bed. But then it like injected something in you or something.
Yeah,
that was a mental one. Dude.
Yeah, I was like ill at the time.
That was like the fact that it was like
you got possessed
because obviously like I've had sleep paralysis in my life, like twice, like really bad.
Yeah, and
sort of like and then like almost like a little bit another time. And obviously I've had lots of nightmares, but I've never had like woken from a savage nightmare into sleep paralysis. That's like double whammy.
It is pretty brutal.
Scary.
It's pretty brutal. To be honest, I don't. I might be in the minority with this. I don't mind a nightmare. I don't mind the sleep paralysis.
Well, I don't think you do in hindsight, do you?
No, I almost like
I mind
the day after my almost first thought, or even like an hour after my first thought is, that's going to be a good story. You know, I'm going to tell that tomorrow to people.
It is distressing though, isn't it?
At the time,
I
kind of like the fear though. I get it. Like, I don't like a nightmare, but like maybe like once a year, like a little one, as long as it's not too scary.
It's almost like
it's a bit like the thrill in it.
Yeah, it's almost like the best like horror movie you can possibly get.
It's like at least it's not real.
It's almost like, even though they're very distressing at the time, if you realise you haven't had a horror movie, a bad like a nightmare in a couple of years, you're almost a bit like, I haven't had my thriller in a while.
Exactly.
I have a thrill.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I didn't like it when I used to have them every single night when I was little.
You used to have nightmares every night?
Well, it started off as a dream. I've said like before, with the people with no eyes, and they'd always come into like the dream, and I'd be like, oh, okay, that's scary. They'd chase me and stuff. But like I hadn't had a dream for like a scary dream in like ages. Until the other day when I had the zombie nightmare. That was kind of like a thrill, though. I quite enjoyed it.
Do you know what my nan told me when I was a kid? And this always has worked like in my entire adult life and my entire kid life. And I don't know what the reasoning... Well, probably just placebo more than anything.
Is this Pauline?
But no, this is my nan Jean.
Right.
She told me when I was a kid, if you ever have like a nightmare, to flip your pillow. And then you can just sleep. And genuinely, my whole life that's worked.
It's like a psychological trick, do you think?
It must be, but it's
a little bit like.
for me.
Have you heard about how? And apparently this works. I don't think I've ever actually tried it myself. But have you heard that thing where they say like, if you want to get up at like 7 a.m. and you haven't got a alarm, like tap 7 times on your pillow before you go to bed. And apparently, like a lot of people say it works.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Like it's almost like planting a subconscious.
Yeah,
thing.
it's like a weird subconscious thing. It's almost like it's just like embedding the memory in of you, like 7 o'clock, get up.
That is crazy.
And then somehow your mind almost like knows like it's probably about time to get up now.
That's crazy.
So mad, isn't it?
I just tell someone that I want to get up at 7 o'clock and I end up waking up at that time. And also with the pillow one, I would do that, but I'm so weird. I only like sleeping on like the certain side of my pillow. It's like I couldn't flip it upside down because that's not my side of the pillow.
Why?
No idea. I couldn't tell.
I don't even know which side is which. If you know, do you know what I mean? Like obviously, I do it like depending on the pattern of that particular pillowcase. Yeah. But like, I wouldn't know. If it was like
a plain pillow, you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't have a clue.
I would know my side of my pillow.
That is crazy.
I know my pillow side.
Is it just like what sort of pillow is it? Like a memory foam one, or is it?
No, it's just like a normal like pillow. I just don't like it being the other side. If I have it, whatever way I put it on my bed.
How can you feel?
I don't know. Just whatever side I put it on my bed, that's the side I like it. It's not like it feels bad the other way. It's just I just be like, I'd be sat there the whole time like my pillow's the wrong way right now, and that's all I'd think about, and I wouldn't be able to sleep.
I was meaning to ask because obviously you came on one of the shows with me and Claire.
Yes.
And we spoke about ghosts, the Mystic Hour. You should check it out if you haven't before.
Thursdays, 8 a.m. AW Radio. Check it out.
That's it.
With the Little Chief. And Lord Winkleberry
over
here, the mayor of Winkletown.
And on this show, Imogen told her very own ghost story, a ghost story she experienced, and Claire gave the validation of it being real.
Yeah.
Sounded legit
the old
to the
lady
chief.
in the bathroom. I think I've said about this before on here.
So how did that make you feel, almost having that validation?
Kind of like, I wasn't just a weird child dreaming. I told my friend whose house it was when I saw her the other day. I told her about it, and she looked at me absolutely petrified. She was like, "Don't tell me that. I live in that house."
Why did the old lady want to be in the bathroom?
It's just she died in the house before, and it's just like it used to be part of her house. I'm pretty sure.
It wasn't like Psycho then.
No. But Claire just said that she shouldn't be there. She shouldn't have been there.
Especially if you were doing a number 2.
Yeah, man.
No, not just the fact that it's a bathroom. She just shouldn't be in the house in general.
I'm just being stupid. Yeah.
But yeah, that was quite like thrilling. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thriller.
I feel like I've had quite a good amount of like little ghost stories in my life. You know.
I feel like there's several unknowns, question mark events, like the one I just told you a minute ago. But I still, it's not enough.
My one with the gate was one of the weirdest ones I had, where I walked out to the gate and was like, "Open the gate for me," and then the gate just opened. I was like, "Whoa!"
That is freaking weird.
Because the only way you can open that gate is by putting the gate in.
I had something similar happen to me when I was a lot younger, and I think obviously, I'm like 99.9% sure it was just a coincidence, of course. But I remember looking at a candle, and I just thought in my mind, I'm going to make this candle go out with my mind, and it just went out.
All right.
But the wax had all melted.
Yeah,
it was just like a little glass candle with like a. And I remember them being like. But then I lit it, and then it was almost like in my mind I was like, "That's it, I've just discovered I'm psychic."
Yeah.
And then I lit it, and then I tried to do it like about 10 times, and obviously just nothing happened.
Yeah.
But still weird.
Yeah, man.
Because it was the fact that I looked at it and I was like, I'm going to make this candle go out of my mind ready. Obviously, I was saying this in my head, not out loud. And I was like, And then just went out and I was like,
You're 11.
oh my God.
It's 11 from Stranger Things.
Yeah, mate, that's me.
Literally.
Yeah.
12.
No, I was sat.
12.
I was sat not last night, the other night, in my living room with my brother and his girlfriend, and we had like a little lamp on that we haven't used in ages. And I looked at them and I went, if anybody's here, turn the light off, thinking, it's gonna like flicker just because there's an old light, and nothing happened. And I was there like, oh, that's a bit embarrassing. I did it like 5 times as well to try and like get it to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm only joking. Do it now. And then I was like, do it now. And then I counted them down and it still didn't happen. And I was like, okay, that's a bit embarrassing.
I'm very like mixed on things like that because I really like the idea of seeking stuff like that out. Like I would like to go on like ghost walks
Yes.
and like do seances and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't really want to mess with it. You know, I don't really know why because like you, I'm a skeptic. You know, I don't really believe it per se. I'm just interested in it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the small chance that there is that I could mess something up, I don't really want to take that chance.
Well, you get something attached to
you know what I mean? Yeah.
You get like attachment. You get like a devil that just
like
walks
Drew
on
with
your
those that like dreadlocked woman's
Oh,
hair.
that is he definitely shouldn't have done this. Do you know about this?
No.
So Drew went to Peru about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and he was doing like a lot of exploration, self-discovery at the time. He was sort of in between relationships.
Okay.
You know, the relationship before didn't go very well, and he was like, you know, taking a hit by it a bit. So anyway, he was like going on this little quest, basically this little voyage. But then when he was in Peru, there's this like site where there's like basically it's like ancient Peruvian civilization lived, and these ancient Peruvians used to grow out their hair like basically forever and then dreadlock them. So they used to have their hair like down to like literally like their feet, and they dreadlock them. But like this place in Peru, because of like the climate and everything like that, the way they like left their dead, you can just see like these like 10,000-year-old dreadlocks like on the floor.
That's scary.
Right, and skeletons. There's like pictures of Drew. Drew's like posing one of the pictures with like 2 bones. He's doing like the crossbones, and he's like,
oh my God.
But he picked up one of the dreadlocks and he took it back to England with him.
Why did he do that?
Because he just I guess he thought it would be like a good memento.
Just taking some dead person's hair.
I know. But
God.
don't get me wrong,
Poor person.
this is probably a coincidence because, you know, it's a bit like they say about horoscopes. You can just like, you could almost like define any attribute to anybody at some point and just say, see, this makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Because we all pretty much display every range of emotion or personality type at some point or another. So it's not necessarily strict evidence, but at the same time, you would hear, wouldn't you, that stuff like that would be like bad juju, could potentially get you cursed, whatever.
Get you jinxed.
And then for about 2 years after that, Drew did have really bad luck.
Oh, okay.
So
like
he put a load of money into cryptocurrency, and then the crypto crashed, and he lost like he literally lost like I think like over like 20 grand.
That's not good.
Like £20,000, a lot of money. It's basically like all of his money, right?
Oh God.
He had a motorbike crash.
Oh my God.
Writ off his motorbike. He like got a little house in Crockerton, but then it suddenly just discovered it had like a ridiculously bad like mold issue, and then at the same time his like toilet clogged up, and then he had one toilet in the house. And I remember it just was this massive problem. There was like other things that went wrong as well.
Did he return it?
No, he hasn't been back to Peru. I don't know what he's done with it, but
gave it to somebody else.
Yeah, but
passed on the curse.
I think it was almost. I'd like to think that with the curse, it's almost like after a while, if something like that is true, they'd be like, okay, he's been punished enough.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not just indefinite.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the crime.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they say. You know,
it's
don't
like
do the crime, can't do the task.
Caribbean, Dead Man's Curse. Is it Dead Man's Curse? Pirates of the Caribbean.
I have seen them before, but it's been a long time, so I don't really know.
I think it's called
Is that
Dead
the one with
Man's
like the
Curse.
coins? Where they took a coin and so that he was like immortal, but he was also like couldn't eat or anything.
Yeah, it's like Dead Man's Curse. It's like just I don't know. It just reminded me of that.
Really good films, by the way.
I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think they are good films. I've only ever seen them all like once, or maybe like I've seen like a couple of them twice, maybe.
I watched Happy Gilmore 2 last night.
Right.
Oh, it's such a good film. I watched that the other day.
So funny. Like I've never seen, and it's been getting so much hate, this film, and this is almost a good reason.
Never seen it.
Where it's like, have you ever seen Happy Gilmore 1?
No.
It's Adam Sandler.
See, it's a classic like Adam Sandler like comedy.
Yeah.
Where it's a bit silly. It's like you shouldn't take it that seriously. It's just a bit of a mess around, but at the same time, it's a good watch. You know, you enjoy it, and that obviously went down as sort of like a comedy classic. So they've just redone it with Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix. Man, it's got the most cameos of any film I've ever watched before.
Serious?
Like, literally every like big golfer currently like has a role in it.
Yeah.
Do you remember we were speaking about John Daly?
Yeah.
So John Daly just randomly lives with Happy Gilmore and is just like an alcoholic.
That's hilarious.
And just like sits and drinks as like almost this weird old man.
Yeah.
Like all the biggest golfers like Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, all of them just have like speaking parts and like roles, and like it's really funny. Eminem's randomly in it.
Yeah.
Post Malone, Bad Bunny. There's so many more that I couldn't even like
got,
recall
like, a little
the
thing
memory of it.
Obviously, Cameron Boyce isn't alive, but he's even got him in it through like a TV thing where they're watching a whole thing with Cameron Boyce in it, and they've like there's this whole like theory that they've like purposely got it so that he's in the movie, which doesn't surprise me because he's done stuff like that before.
Yeah, well, he was in the original Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
So that's why they sort of paid tribute to him. But yeah, it was cool seeing like that. Like obviously, it's almost a bit of a cheap pop, you know. Oh, it's got Becky Lynch in it. It's got MJF in it.
Nice.
It's got did it have any other wrestlers? I feel like it might have even had another wrestler in it at some point. But a bit, just mentally, loads of people.
It is fun when there's lots of cameos. I remember thinking that it's quite a funny movie as well, so it's worth a watch. Did you ever watch This Is the End?
Yes. Yeah,
that's got like loads of cameos.
Yeah,
it's got like Rihanna in it, and like Emma Watson from Harry Potter, and just like loads of people in it. Loads of people.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have. I feel like I recognise the name, but then I don't.
Yeah, it's like a
I'm
comedy.
Not very good at
Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen.
Yeah, but from about 10 years ago, it's Danny McBride, who I love because he's the one that plays like Kenny Powers and all that. Yeah, Danny McBride, Seth Rogen. What's James DeFranco? There's so many like famous actors in it. So many. I think some of the actors from like The Office are in it, aren't they? Oh yeah, the guy that plays Daryl in The Office, like the black dude.
Michael Cera's in it as well.
Michael Cera. Yeah.
Rihanna, randomly.
Yeah, Rihanna's in it. I said there's quite a lot of people in it. Like loads of famous people.
Must have watched it.
From like a cheap little like silly comedy though, I think a cheap pop like that is fine.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind it.
Both of them, let's face it, both of them are like just like silly comedies. So definitely. Do you guys want to hear some cool stories?
Yeah,
I do.
sure.
Some interesting stories, mysterious stories, you could say.
Get us pondering.
Have you ever heard of the twins June and Jennifer Gibbons?
No.
They were known as the Silent Twins. They were identical sisters born in 1963 to Caribbean parents, but raised in Wales in the United Kingdom. From a young age, the girls became inseparable, speaking only to each other in a fast and private version of Bajan Creole that sounded like a secret language. Their bond was so intense that they mirrored each other's movements and seemed to exist in their own isolated world. Teachers and psychologists were baffled by their refusal to speak to others, and efforts to separate them only led to severe emotional withdrawal and catatonia. As teenagers, the twins turned to writing fiction, creating rich and strange stories full of dark themes. But their behaviour eventually took a troubling turn. They committed a series of petty crimes, including arson, which led to their confinement in Broadmoor, a high-security psychiatric hospital. There they spent 11 years under heavy medication and observation. During this time, they came to believe that one of them would have to die for the other to live a normal life. Jennifer eventually agreed to be the one to go, and in 1993, shortly after their transfer to a lower security facility, she suddenly died of apparent acute myocarditis. Strange, isn't it?
What even is that?
I don't know, but I would guess something to do with the heart if it's carditis.
Yeah.
After Jennifer's death, June began speaking to others with ease for the first time in her life. It was as if the lifelong sentence had been lifted. She later described feeling free, as though her sister had made the ultimate sacrifice to release her from her bonds.
Mate, that's mental.
Their story has inspired books, documentaries, a feature film, and several podcasts, including this one.
That's so
a lot
weird.
of people believe there's something a bit like supernatural with twins, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, I could tell you some stories about that, yeah. The tale of the Silent Twins remains one of the most haunting psychological mysteries of modern history. A story of love, isolation, and the extraordinary power of human connection. Yeah, I remember hearing a story before about a guy who was working, I think he was working power lines in America, and he said he just all of a sudden got hit with this like crushing sense of loss, and apparently he just instantly knew that his twin had died. His twin brother had died.
Oh my God.
And apparently, like, he got to his car or something and came home, and I can't remember if it was like his mother or his wife or someone was like said his name, whatever, like in a panic, and obviously he was like, such and such is dead, aren't they? And they were like, yeah, how'd you know? And he was like, I just knew it. I just knew
Sensed it.
Yeah, he sensed it in the force.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I do know a couple of twins that have got like...
Telepathy.
Telepathy. Yeah. I do know like I say a couple. I know one set of twins that do seem to have like an insane bond that are almost like inseparable. And they like openly say that they're like, will never love anybody else as much as they love like each other. Which is a bit mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like having a weird like extra version of yourself.
Yeah. I guess it's strange because you literally like, I mean, I guess, you know, we all shared like a womb with our siblings, you know, as long as obviously you have the same mum, but not like at the same time. So I think that's a bit weird, isn't it?
Do you know what makes an identical twin and what makes it just like a twin?
So an identical twin is, I believe, is one egg that splits into two before the fetuses develop, right?
Okay.
So it starts off as like one egg and then splits into two. That's how you get an identical twin, because apparently it's the identical DNA. You've got the same sperm, same
sense.
egg. Non-identical twins like Joe Wynn and his sister Leanne, who don't, you know, they look like they just, you know, they're basically, you wouldn't look any more similar
like
to
brother
them.
And sister.
Yeah, you wouldn't look any more similar to them than say like you would to one of your brothers or I would to my brother. That's when there's two eggs, I believe, that then get fertilized by two separate sperms.
That makes sense, yeah.
Inside the woman during the same time, and then they both develop. So
and
it'd almost be
like a Siamese twin?
I think that's more like the first one, but it like the egg doesn't fully split. So you could
get it down to like genotypes as well and stuff like that.
Probably. I certainly do not claim to be an expert on it. I know the basics. Yeah.
I got taught this in science last year.
So if you can spread some light, Imogen,
I can't remember.
Spit some facts.
I have no idea. I think it's basically what you said. I had like a whole like 2 lessons worth of stuff on this last year, and I can't remember any of it.
Siamese twins are a bit mental as well, aren't they?
Funnily enough, I was reading something about Siamese twins earlier on. I was reading about how Siamese twins, one of the Siamese twins, because they shared legs and a torso, and they shared arms, but then like about chest level, it sort of splits off into sort of like 2 necks and 2 heads. But they did almost like have a bit of like extra, upper body as well. Apparently, one of them identified as like asexual, so basically they just weren't aroused by anything, and one of them was just heterosexual. But it was basically going on about how like the asexual one gave permission for her Siamese twin sister, to get married to this man, even though she was asexual. But obviously that opens up all the questions, doesn't it? Of like, because let's face it, right? Let's just cut the bull, right? And we'll try and keep it classy, but let's just cut the bull. It does pose a very intriguing dilemma, because I think we'd all be lying if we didn't then think it's a bit strange, isn't it? Because like every time that couple gets intimate, your sibling's essentially is just there.
Doesn't some of I think
isn't that
I've
almost
seen
like a bit
before
awkward?
Where they just said they just sit and read a book.
Your face then, boy.
I think I've seen one where they said like their twin just like reads a book whilst,
But what if the other one wants the hands?
But do they also not like feel it?
Of course they would. They share genitalia. You
just have to get
You've
into
got
it.
to think, like, don't get me wrong, right? Don't get me wrong. Everyone deserves love, right? But that guy, the guy who's like, with the woman, he must. I don't.
Who's he having sex with?
It's a bit strange, isn't it?
Whose name?
It's a bit like.
What if he said the wrong name?
Or whatever. That would be awkward.
That said the wrong sister's name.
Yeah.
That'd be awkward.
So, well, sorry, you're basically.
Or if he just happened to glance into the wrong one's eyes.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's a bit of like a weird kink that he's got, or do you think
it is?
Yeah.
I reckon it is.
Yeah.
If he hasn't admitted it, then I understand. But
yeah.
That I understand what. But I reckon. Yeah, I think maybe it's just like the novel thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure, I'd like to believe, and I'm sure that this guy loves his wife.
Yes, yeah.
But at the same time, it is very unique, isn't it? Yes. And I'm really glad that for this woman,
absolutely,
the one that obviously is married to the guy, that she's obviously found somebody that accepts her for who she is and stuff. But it doesn't stop the fact that it must be really strange that all of us, people obviously that don't suffer from that affliction, we have the ability to go into another room if we want privacy. Yeah. You can go into another room with your significant other or just whoever. It doesn't have to be like, sexual or relationship based. It could just be to have a private word with somebody. Yeah. And you have that privacy. The fact that is just off the cards. You
can be alone as well.
Yeah.
Whereas you can exactly. Never be alone.
The fact that's just off the cards is very strange.
You have to be married to both people, don't you?
Yeah, you do, yeah.
What if they were both married? Would they have like a huge bed for their husbands to with their husbands that lie either side?
Do you know what I think would also be quite hard to say if you were the husband? Like, imagine how frustrating it would be if, say, you planned a really nice day out with your wife, and then right at the last minute, the Siamese twin of your wife was like, "No, I don't want to do that."
Or I've got different plans.
Yeah, and then you were like, your wife had to be like, "Oh, well, sorry, then we can't go." And I'd be like, or what if she wanted to go, but her Siamese twin was adamant that she didn't want to go, and then as a result, you couldn't really go because you feel like you were forcing her.
Here's what I find mental as well, because they can walk around and stuff, right?
Yeah. They've got the same pair of legs, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how that works as well. Like,
exactly. If one of them wants to go one direction and the other one's trying to go the other direction, how does that work?
Yeah.
Does one control the walking? Does one control one leg? Like, what's?
Or does they?
They can't just go in separate directions and rip apart. That's doesn't work.
Yeah, it's a bit like if you were just playing a video game and you started button bashing too hard and you think you just break the controller. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I
mean? Yeah. Like if I was what I find, if I was trying to walk forward now, I could walk forward now.
Yeah.
But
if there was another voice inside your head trying to walk backwards,
then what happens?
Who's the stronger voice?
Because I don't think you just sat still then. I think you're almost in a weird know.
Or I wonder if they were, because obviously I didn't go into the specifics. I think it depends. I think it depends on a case by case basis. But I think with some Siamese twins, one of them's more formed than the other one. Yeah. So one of them would be in complete control of movement.
I was about to say,
and the other one's
basically more dominant. Yeah.
One's basically along for the ride,
almost just a head and a neck,
just along for the ride. Yeah. You're just I'm just it's like permanently being in a motorbike sidecar.
Would they both die at the same time?
For your entire life.
Yeah.
Or would one pass before the other?
I think that one could die before the other one, but shortly after the other one would die because the internal organs wouldn't work anymore.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in a situation where, say,
would you be able to get them separated before that happened though, and then
I don't think so. I think that has happened in some cases, but I think because every case is unique in terms of the severity of how conjoined they are. It really depends, because essentially, if you're having to almost you'd have to chop off such a large part of that person that they would just die.
I also think
it'd be like chopping them in half with a sword. Do you know what I mean? It'd be it's just too brutal. True. It's just too brutal.
I also think they must just be tired all the time. You know, when you're listening and talking to people and just doing activities, you're just naturally tired by the end of the day. Imagine you had to just double that. You know what I mean? Because you just had to power 2 brains instead of 1. You would be so tired by the end of the day.
Because it's definitely by the looks of things with the conjoined twins that I saw, I'm pretty sure they would share at least the majority of the internal organs.
Yeah.
So as you said, it was that's interesting because I mean, obviously one of the main things are
so much more blood that they've got to pump around.
Do they have their own lungs, or do they share lungs?
To be honest, it's hard for me to remember from the picture whether I would say it looked like they had their own lungs or not. I remember they definitely I think they only had what
if one
they had 2 arms, 2 legs, and I think from about halfway up their torso it almost more started to split into 2, divert.
Okay.
So it's very hard for me to say whether they had 2 hearts or 1 heart.
Because all I was thinking was if they had shared lungs, what if one of them was holding their breath, would the other one not be able to breathe, or would the other one be able to breathe?
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
I need to talk to someone who's
a conjoined
twin and
This is mental. So I just searched up, do Siamese twins share the same dreams, right? And it said no, but it did say this: if they do share part of the brain, example thalamus or cortex. In
Edward Mordrake.
In extremely rare cases, such as Krista and Tatiana Hogan from Canada, the twins share a thalamic bridge, a deep brain structure involved in sensory perception.
Right.
These twins have reported sharing sensory experiences and have even been able to see through each other's eyes to some extent.
Wow.
Crazy.
It's possible, though not scientifically confirmed, that they may experience shared dreams or at least some cross-sensory dream phenomena. That's
intense.
Insane.
That's pretty intense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, do you remember Edward Mordrake? Edward Mordrake was like the story of like the guy who had like a tiny little Siamese twin on the back of his head. But it was like tiny and malformed.
And he said like evil things, right?
Apparently it would like whisper evil things to him.
Yeah. Like
and,
Voldemort.
And like try and like tell him to do like
Oh my god, yeah,
things.
like Voldemort in the first one when he got the back of the head.
He basically had like a Voldemort on the back of his
Oh my
head.
god.
That's crazy.
That was actually one of the most mental stories we told. Yeah, I
that
forgot
is,
about that
That
one.
is so mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
I didn't know that
crazy.
existed.
Do you want to hear another like creepy story?
Hit us.
It's not so much creepy. I guess it's more. It's like harrowing. It's sad. But I've got one that's quite dystopian as well to tell you afterwards. This is more just like a sad one, but it is a mystery because we still don't know exactly what happened to these ladies. Right. So in April 2014, 2 Dutch tourists, Chris Kremers, 21, and Lizanne Froon, 22.
Chris Cram.
Yeah, man. Vanished while hiking the El Pianista Trail in Boquete, Panama. They had been staying with a host family excited to explore and left for what should have been a short hike. 10 weeks later, their belongings were found miles deep into the jungle. Lizanne's backpack neatly placed on a riverbank. Inside were 2 pairs of sunglasses, 2 bras, $83 in cash, Lizanne's camera, and both phones. Strangely, the backpack was clean and dry, despite there being heavy rain in the 10 weeks since their disappearance. Phone logs showed desperate attempts to call the emergency services, over 70 calls in total. Whoa. The camera held eerie photos, some normal shots from the trail, but later, 90 bizarre nighttime images, including one of Chris's hair, one of a rock, and others of just complete darkness. Soon after, bone fragments were found. Chris's pelvis and Lizanne's foot were discovered separately, far from each other. Was this an accident, or was it something far more sinister that happened in the Panamanian jungle?
That sounds far more sinister, doesn't it?
The fact that like everything was found neat and tidy inside like one almost like strangely clean backpack.
Yeah.
Very bizarre. Very bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost a bit of like a missing 1-1. Is it missing 1-1?
Missing 4-1?
Missing 4-1-1. That's it, man. Missing 4-1-1 case, isn't it?
Terrifying.
Do you know what? I thought this next case is fascinating because it's literally like the start of where we are now, basically, and you'll know what I'm getting at once I've actually told you this. So I'm going to tell you the story of Joseph Faber, who was a German-born inventor. He dedicated roughly 25 years of intense labour to creating what he called Euphonia, which was a mechanical speaking machine revealed in the mid-1840s. Mounted on a gilded table, Euphonia was an automaton which sported a lifelike mask with corkscrew curls and functional rubber lips, a tongue, a soft palate, jaw, and cheeks.
1840?
Mid-1840s. This inventor had spent 25 years of his life inventing this. This was like unheard of at the time. Using a keyboard and a foot-operated bellows, Faber manually controlled 17 levers that simulated the human vocal tract, producing phonemes by driving air through reeds, resonators, shutters, and nasal passages. Audiences could request words in multiple European languages, and Euphonia even performed a breathy chant of God Save the Queen. This is the thing, this next bit is what I find quite harrowing, especially when there's so much talk nowadays on both mental health and rise of AI. Do we use technology too much? Do children use technology too much? How much technology exposure is okay for children, etc.? So despite its technical brilliance, Euphonia unsettled audiences with its eerie realism. Apparently it spoke in a slow, sepulchral voice behind vacant eyes.
What's sepulchral?
It's basically like dark.
Okay.
Dark, sort of like quite foreboding. Its breath, pumped by the bellows, felt on listeners' cheeks. Many comparisons were drawn to Frankenstein's monster, with one critic remarking on the secret influence of an idea that the two were destined to live and die together. The unsettling combination of nearly human speech with an inhuman visage is now understood as an early example of what we now call the uncanny valley phenomenon, which you talked about on the pod before. Although public reception was largely negative, crowds in London left sadder and creeped out, which is what's, this is sort of what's very interesting. So this man obviously toured with this, thinking that people would find it amazing. But, the public reception, which was so negative to this, was that when people would go and see the show, they couldn't really explain why, but they would leave the show sort of feeling down, feeling sad, and sort of creeped out. Euphonia had a lasting impact on scientific progress. It caught the attention of Smithsonian director Joseph Henry, who foresaw its potential as a telephonic relaying device. Notably, Melville Bell, the father of Alexander Graham Bell, was inspired by it, helping pave the way toward the invention of the telephone. Tragically, Faber ended his own life after destroying his creation, yet his mechanical marvel quietly sowed seeds for modern speech synthesis and telecommunication. But yeah, I think that's quite spooky and harrowing. I think the fact that people found it depressing, strangely depressing, because on the surface you think, why would that be depressing? But you think of sort of watching it and it's just strangely vacant face just making noises, and almost you can feel this artificial breath coming out of its mouth. And I think it just goes to show that there's humans we can sense when something's unnatural, and we crave reality. We crave talking to other human beings, being around other animals, being outside, doing real things. And how even though technology can be amazing, there is almost something a bit depressing to it, and sometimes it's very hard to even put your finger on why. I remember we said, I think it was years ago now, Bullwinkle, we said have you ever had a gaming set, played a game that you so much, but then you almost overindulge and you're playing it for 8 hours in a row. You
just feel sad.
And you turn it off and you just sort of feel a bit down.
Feel like you've let yourself down, doesn't it?
Yeah, you sort of feel, that's right. You sort of feel like you've left, and it's almost wasted your day.
Yeah.
But it sort of feels a bit harrowing and depressing.
Are there any videos of it?
Huh?
Are there any videos of it?
Nah,
people might have tried to recreate it and
That's
stuff.
what I mean.
You can see pictures of it and drawings of it. If you look it up,
But there's no
I wonder,
nobody's used it since.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I wonder if it makes people feel more artificial or less. You know what I mean? The fact that someone can create that, I wonder if that makes people almost feel less special in a way, and that's what makes them feel depressed, or if it...
I don't think it's that, personally.
Were they sad because they thought they wasted their money?
I don't think it's that either.
No.
I think it's I think it's deeper than that. Okay. I think it's how unnatural it is.
Psychological.
I think it's unnatural, and I think it's that makes people not like it. As I said, I think we crave real interaction, we crave authenticity, we crave human interaction.
Yeah.
Not necessarily human interaction always. I think obviously, that's very important, but also interaction with other animals. Said being outside, using your legs, not living vicariously through screens or through automatons or having everything done for you by machines, robots, AI, whatever you want to call it. And I think what's really telling is for people that are living in 2025, obviously technology is a slow process. So we are all used to these things because they've slowly evolved and developed over the course of our lifetime. But what I think is really interesting for these people in the mid-1840s, 1845 or whatever, this would have been very, very in stark contrast to their day-to-day lives.
Yes, yeah.
Would have still been living, obviously they had decent technology in a lot of ways in those days, but, still going horse-drawn cart everywhere. If you want to wash your clothes, you wash them manually. If you want to, you farm, a lot of people would have been farmers. Things were done old school. Yeah. Labour would have been done old school. No big diggers or anything like that.
I've got sort of a theory as to why it might make you feel depressed.
Sorry, so just to finish my point. So I think, but the stark contrast is what I think, it would have seemed so unnatural.
Yeah.
Whereas things, even though we might find them a bit depressing, even if we don't realise we find them depressing nowadays, and so we recognise the symptom but not the cause.
Yeah.
Things like that might be more the cause than we realise. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I think it's like in our lifetimes, there's always been sort of a trope of AI or robots taking over, or you look at things like The Matrix, Terminator. Exactly. It's just been around for our whole lifetime, really.
Yeah.
But at one point in time, that wouldn't have been around, or not. So I guess there would have always been like idea that one day something might take over.
Yeah.
But if they hadn't had extra electricity and computers and stuff like that, then you wouldn't really know where it's going to take you. You know what I mean? So I wonder if something like that was almost like one of the first seed sowers, so to speak, of an idea like that.
Yeah.
An idea that in the future, things that aren't real and aren't natural could take place.
Maybe.
And could take over.
I think it's a plausible thought, man. It must have been must have been quite eye-opening for them, like, oh yeah, wow, are things like this the future? And they probably would have never even thought of that up until that point.
Yeah.
Like, whereas, because around this time scientists were starting to experiment more with electricity. As they said, the crowd themselves, some pundits compared it to Frankenstein's monster, and they were even wondering if you could use electricity to like reanimate life. And there must have been like a lot of it must have been a crazy time, because it's like, that sort of industrial revolution time as well, where you're really seeing the switch between everything's done with manual labor more to suddenly machines, factories. People are starting talking about the inventions of the cars. This was a bit after 1845. That was more like late 1800s. That people started actually talking about it. But still, it would have been around that time people started talking about it. Railways everywhere all of a sudden. So very interesting.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for listening to another Pandora's Box. Thanks again for Colourblind Monks for coming in. Thanks to Peridot Greenleaf.
Thank you.
The Mayor of Winkletown. Thank you to all you beautiful people that tune in every single week to Pandora's Box, whether you're listening on AW Radio or on YouTube, Spotify. Regardless, we love you. We appreciate you. If you don't already, please go give us a follow, subscribe, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff on all our various platforms, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram. And yeah, we shall see you next time for another Pandora's Box.
Over and out.
Bye-bye.